Hi there, Amy Kunkel here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and blogger at crazybeautiful.com. We're going to make a multicolored patterned paper butterfly today. These are the butterfly Thinlits dies, and they're really fun to work with. I'm really glad I got mine, as I was a little late in ordering. And to begin, I've just cut about 1.125 strips of paper from my Stacked with Love. I love that it's Valentine's, but Valentine's is over, and there's the pattern on the back is all black and white. So I'm gonna just start with 4 strips of paper, and I'm gonna just kind of line them up so that it's easier for me to use my washi tape just to adhere them together. Okay, and this would be really fun to do in some different color suites with different colors of washi tape and pattern paper. So you want to make sure that the paper stays together like this when you stick it down. It might be easier for you to kind of even go on one side and do half at a time, and then come back in and put that on like that. So I've got one more to do right here. This is the So You washi tape. I love it. It comes in that project kit, and it's great because it's black and white and see-through and really fun to play with and use. So I'm just adhering these with washi tape to make it a little easier on myself. I do a lot of the inlaid die technique, and I just didn't want to mess with adhering another layer onto this. So I'm just trying something new, and I would just rip this washi tape, but my 8-year-old daughter has honestly got me trained. She will not rip washi tape, and now I won't rip washi tape. It's crazy. So I'm gonna get my Big Shot over here, and I've got my magnetic platform and one cutting plate. I'm gonna use Patty Bennett's trick with a clean, brand new dryer sheet and my pattern paper right there. And I'm just gonna like center it evenly just in case I want to use this background for another card. So then run it through. And it's already coming off and smells fresh, so it's a double bonus. You want to make sure you're careful when you're taking this off, because remember, the 4 pieces are only being held together with washi tape. Running it through the Big Shot like that actually does help reinforce that seam, so I haven't had any trouble with them falling apart or anything. There you go. So that looks really pretty. And then I'm going to show you how to add just one more layer of color behind this butterfly. I cut out another one on a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of Bermuda Bay, which you could just use any scrap paper. And I'm just going to lightly trace a pencil mark around where my butterfly is. Okay, this is primarily because I don't want to go outside the line of that butterfly. And this is how I'm gonna have it kind of at an angle. So I sort of planned that ahead. And then I'm gonna use my 3 colors of Smoky Slate Blendabilities, and I'm just gonna start. I'm not gonna go all the way to the edge, but I want kind of an ombre look. So I'm gonna have a little bit lighter at the edges, and this doesn't have to be perfect. I feel like I say that a lot. I think people make me feel like I'm having to be perfect, or I make them feel like they have to be perfect. I don't know. Perfection is not required. So go ahead and just fill in a little bit of that here, then we're gonna move up. I don't put my cap all the way back on. Don't let that come back to bite ya. Make sure to go back and put that cover back on. Okay. And then as we get closer to the center, it's just gonna get a little bit darker. Now, if you remember, like our butterfly center is pretty solid, so the darkness really has to be kind of next to it, like right here, if I want it to show up. So there we go. So we just added a little bit of color there. We don't really need to blend them too much since you're not really going to see them, but that'll kind of darken that middle tone color. All right, so then when you put your butterfly on, it's going to create kind of that shadow behind, almost like a monarch. Not a monarch coloring, but like a real butterfly. So there you go. I'm going to finish this card off with some hand stitching, and I've kind of learned that pencil is easier to erase than marker and pen, so I've done a lot more sketching these days. Sketching it out in pencil, so I'm just kind of winging it here, but you'll see I'll come back in and come over this with my Project Life marker, because that is pretty much my favorite marker in my stash right now. And this way I can actually get the corners to meet how I want them to. I'm kind of on an inspirational kick these days, so if you can't see that, it says believe, dream, and succeed. So I'm just gonna bring those back in with marker and wrap this card up. You can see it posted over on my blog, www.crazybeautiful.com. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.